Hello everybody out there in YouTube world. We both hope everything is good with everybody out there. We know that things in this world aren't in a good place for some people, you know. But you've got to make it the best you can wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
I know that war is one of the subjects that's been going on in Ukraine and Israel and Gaza Strip, to name a few. But anyway, right, this video is going to be about finding yourself. Just finding you as an individual. That's what this video is about. And then your journey through that, and then not finding the end result, but
The end result getting a bit better.
the end, you know, when you come to a point in the life where you think, wow, okay, what else is there? You know, things like that in general. In relationships as well is part of this video. So, but the main subject of the matter is well, for the title of the video is called Finding Yourself. Right, start with you, my darling.
Okay.
First and foremost, most importantly.
Well, I think we all get into ruts, don't we, at the beginning of, growing up in our lives.
We do.
And it carries on and carries on. So there's a cut-off point where you think, I don't want this. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to be going out and every night and having relationships that are meaningless. And it's up to me to find me. And to find you, you've got to start loving yourself first. Haven't you?
You have, because I think personally from my own journey through life is, did I really truly love myself in the beginning of things? When I was a kid, of course, you do. But then when you start to grow up and then you see your friends in relationships and you think, oh, copy, you follow fashion. And that's the trouble with human beings. Most of us are programmed to follow suit of others.
And try and fit in.
There you go, that's the one.
Like a jigsaw puzzle, aren't you? You've got to fit in.
To try and fit into suit that trend of life. But that's what life is not about, the trend. It isn't. And it really isn't. It's about finding you as an individual. To love yourself truly and deeply. Which is a hard thing to do. We see things on the TV and social media, people wearing this and dolling themselves up. They're loving the outside. They want to look perfect. No one is perfect. No one.
True.
I'm not perfect. Max is not perfect. Neither of us on this earth is perfect. But you know when the only time when you are perfect? You really want to know when that is? It's when you don't know anything about a thing in life. It's when you are a baby. I'm talking a newborn baby.
The innocence, isn't
The
it?
pure innocence of life. That's the only time when you are perfect with life itself. Because you don't know anything about nothing.
And you're relying on someone even still, aren't you? You're
Yes.
relying on your mum, your dad.
Yep.
To protect, guide.
To guide, to nurture.
But there comes a day when you've got to grow up. You're not going to be that baby, are you?
Nope.
For the rest of your life.
Nope.
And that's when you start learning, isn't it? Well, hopefully learning.
Yeah.
By who you're mixing with, who you're trying to fit in with.
Yeah, that's the trouble.
Who you're trying to be. Because you just don't know yourself.
And the trouble is, right, idolisation. Oh my God. Sorry, that's one of the worst things ever in life. Say, for instance, you want to be like someone who's famous in the world, whether he or she, and you want to be like that person. You can never be like that person. Never. Never. Not being negative, I'm being truthful here. You can never be like that person, but what you can be is the best version of you. The best versions of you. And if you master yourself, which is a very hard thing to do, because I know people who have never mastered themselves in life, and yet they are no longer here. People who have gone into all the ages of life in their 80s and 90s and still haven't mastered themselves. That is the hardest thing a human being can do, is master themselves. And what I mean by mastering themselves is learn from the life's lessons. Is learn from them. To try and correct the negative things and create the positive things from them. And that's not easy.
Not easy for anyone, is it?
For any living being on this planet.
At some point in people's lives, they've got to. Otherwise, they're just going down a slippery slope, aren't they?
Oh
basically?
boy. And have I seen that slippery slope myself? Trust me, I have.
Yeah.
I've seen that slippery slope. I've been on that slippery slope.
Oh, both of them, haven't
I've been in the pool of it as well, and sinking down into the depth of
they?
it.
Yeah.
So I've come off the slope, I've gone into the pool, and I've been gradually sinking down to the bottom, well, the bottomless part of it.
I always describe it as like being in quicksand, being pulled.
Sucked in.
And your mind, you hate yourself. When I've been younger, there's been times when I've been like, I've hated myself so much, I didn't know myself.
See?
I'm being honest.
Yeah?
And I felt like I was sinking. So you can't get no lower. There's only one way,
Yeah.
and that is up.
Yeah. But it's not an instant fix, trust me.
No, not at all. It's hard. Hard to get out of.
It's like, okay, I was on my own. The longest I've ever been on my own is just over 5 years, really. And my family didn't believe that I would have lasted that long. They used to think, certain family members saying, God, brother, man, you're not bothering with anyone. I said, no, and I will prove a point, even though I shouldn't have to prove a point, but I did. I put a video out on my old channel. And I put my foot down and I said, I'm not going to be with no one because I've had enough. I've had enough. I just wanted to be on my own, to find myself, because in the past, I lost myself. I was trying to be something that I was not.
Something for somebody else.
For somebody else, yes. Not being my true self.
Not what you wanted.
And this is why I love my mum and my dad, because they were their true selves. And they found their true selves between being with each other. And you know how rare that is in life, as a couple, to find themselves together. It's unheard of, and that's the truth. Most people have to find themselves before they can actually be with someone, and some of them fail miserably.
And you know what? I think a lot of it as well is too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
You start off with things way too soon.
Because you haven't learned.
And it's not till you're older you think, oh, I wish I hadn't have done that now till I was a bit older, or wish I hadn't gone there now till I was older.
And the trouble is, well, it can be sometimes too late for some people.
Yeah.
Because once they get it ingrained into their head, that's a hard thing to crack. I mean, when I did my security career, I was in that industry for over 30 plus years. It wasn't constantly 30, I had little gaps here and there doing other things in between. But I've spent over 30 years in security, and the things I got to see would make the average person be fearful of life itself. And that's the truth. I used to have nightmares about things, some of the things that I've come across dealing with drug addicts in particular, people who are psychopathic, dealt with them. And then I was thinking, is that really me doing that kind of work? Is that the real Andrew Osborne doing that kind of work? And no, I wasn't really that person that I yearned to be. I was just trying to fit in, doing that kind of work. And
it's called being in a rut as well, isn't it? You're in a rut, you've got to earn money.
You've got to earn money, yeah, but...
and most people are in jobs that they don't want to be in, and they dread Monday morning.
And I thought I enjoyed the job. The thing with the job in working security, I liked it for the challenge of it, but it was a very dangerous challenge. And that challenge didn't come to the front until 2011, that year again. And then when I came out of the industry, I thought, right, I'm going to try and see if I can find myself, and I still didn't. I was still struggling to find what I was really.
But it doesn't matter what age you do, as long as you do.
Yeah, because I know I have now.
Yeah, you have to. You really have to grow up. I didn't grow up till I was 50. You know, but who would think that could ever be achievable? I can think of, what, 50? Yeah. Yeah. You come to realise that life isn't just a game.
No, it's not a game.
And it's not very long either. So,
Most people, it's very short-lived.
yeah.
Very, very short-lived.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when I started to really start to find my true self, it's through my qigong and meditative practicing. And some people thought I was a bit crazy doing that stuff. Why you want to be doing that stuff? Because I want to do it. I'm not doing it to please other people. I'm doing it because I want to do it. And I'm not even pleasing myself by doing it. It's because I want to do it. And then I found out that was the key to really unlocking who I truly am in life.
But everybody, don't you think, should be able to do what they want to do?
Yeah.
Within reason, obviously.
And also good things.
Yeah, good
We're not
things
talking about
within
doing
reason.
bad things to suit people, because doing bad things in life is the worst thing any human being could do.
Yeah.
I'm all about having a positive approach to life. This is what we're all about, is using the positivities out there in the world to help you develop yourself,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is not easy. You know, it's so easy to be a negative person in life. It's so easy. You could become negative within a matter of hours if you really wanted to.
Seconds.
If that, yeah. Now, you know what the hardest thing to become a positive person, you know how I should say, you know how hard it is to become a positive person in life. It's almost unachievable. Some people don't even get to that positive state. Some put on a front to say, oh, look at me, I'm positive. But are you really being positive? You can say that you are verbally, but are you really being a positive person?
You know what? It's like, are you really happy?
There you go, see? This is
Are you
what
really happy?
positive
You've got
is
to be
about.
honest with yourself when you're asking that. Because if you're not, then you won't be happy.
And we're not being negative here. If you're
No,
not,
no,
if you're not happy with yourself, you won't achieve anything good in
And
life.
you know, my advice now at this age to somebody younger, find something you're going to be happy with.
Yeah,
Truly happy with.
yeah. Not by what anybody else is
Just
doing.
doing or saying, you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got to come from there, and it's got to come
hard.
from there.
There's no other way about this. There is no shortcut, I must warn
There
you.
isn't.
If someone can show me a shortcut of finding themselves and being happy and in love with themselves, please mention something in the comments. We want to know, because I can promise you there's no one.
I mean, anybody who's watching this over 21, if you can remember when you was 21, and now you're older, how quick has that time gone? Because before you know it, you're 40.
Well, I still remember my 21st birthday
And me.
party, and I'm 59 this year. Where that was 38 years ago.
You've got to ask yourself, haven't you, really? And what have you done in them years?
That's the thing. What have you done?
Or have you sort of pretended all the way through that? Oh, I'm happy, oh, I love my job. Oh, I've got this, I've got that. It's all about wanting it, you know. And it's not the way to go.
No, and the material world, trust me, is the worst poison out there. Excuse me. And it really is, the material world. It's so poisonous and deadly and addictive. And what we mean by the material world is drink is material, drugs is material. What else? Buying expensive things
That you don't need.
that you do not need.
It's like when you follow these
Fashion icons.
People who, not just fashion
Celebrities.
icons. Celebrities
Celebrity
is the word
icon.
I'm looking for.
Celebrity icons.
Celebrities, you know, you're the people who are making them rich.
I don't follow no
You're
celebrity.
buying their products, you know, you're
Yeah.
making them
Me
rich.
and Max, we don't follow no celebrity people.
Yeah.
And then we know there's people of our age groups who do, but we don't.
No.
You think I'm wearing anything designer-ish, hence the word ish, on me now. This is from Next, Primani. I know this is a little bit special. But you know, we're not obsessed like some people are. We've got to have the latest designer this, designer that. And we see people on the YouTube channel mentioning no names, who we watched earlier.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's that saying, isn't there? Do you really need it? Can you afford it? Always ask yourself that, because if you don't, by the time you've looked round yourself and got fed up with this,
There's always a new trend.
there's a
out.
new trend out, so you'll be buying that as well.
Yeah.
And it's all piling up, and you know,
Yeah.
it's all, and you obviously less money as well.
Yeah, let me show you something here. This is the iPhone X10, and this is the iPad. You know how old is this iPad now that I've had? I had it before we got together, didn't we? Even before our friendship started. I bought this when I was working at Iceland in Tipton,
Wow,
when I first started.
that's quite old then.
So this is probably about 7 years old, this iPad is, and it's in immaculate condition. Nothing wrong with it. I bought this about the same time. I reckon it's about 8, 9 years old, these two are here. And they still work. Nothing wrong with them. And I get people who I've known, right? The latest iPhone comes out, don't want to buy it. They go into debt for it. It's like with buying cars. People buy cars once every 6 months. That's when brand new cars get released in a year, twice in a year, in March and in September.
Is it? Twice a year.
Twice a year.
It's like the football kits, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even for the kids.
Mm.
You know, you just can't keep doing it.
I know.
Keeping up with everything. I mean, for one thing, that would make you pretty negative.
Oh gosh, the pressure of
Eventually,
it. The pressure of it.
The pressure of it, especially if you've got children.
But getting back to this video, again, it's about finding yourself. Please, this is what you've got to do. You've got to think, talk to yourself, right, am I happy with being who I truly am in life? Am I really happy with being me? Have you found the real you yet? But I can promise you haven't. And when me and Maxine are out and about, there's one day we might do this. I might be tempted to do this. I might just say, right, get the video out on the camera and do a video. And we might even ask people, are you happy with being who you truly are in life? Because that's going to happen. I'm so tempted to do a video on this.
And if you're tempted, we know you will.
Yeah, this is what I'm like, and I'll carry it through.
I'm staying in.
Yeah. So I'd say, are you happy with who you truly are in life and where you are? Have you found yourself? And I can promise people to say, really, have I found myself? Because they always think. Because I've seen things on this subject. They always think.
Life is that fast paced.
It is.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know whether you'd found yourself, because your mind's just going like that. You're on a roller coaster.
And this is where meditation comes into place.
And you've got to get off that roller coaster.
Oh,
otherwise, you're on that roller coaster.
For the rest of your
Go
life.
to bed, you wake up, you're on that roller coaster again.
You become like
24
this.
hours a day, 7 days a week.
You become that, the zombie of
so
life.
how can you think? You can't.
We're off that roller coaster. We've ditched it. You know how many times me and Max meditate throughout the day? I'm not about the week, I'm not about the day. How many times at least, my dear?
Well, at least twice, that's minimum.
That's minimum? Twice?
Yeah,
Me?
that's minimum.
Well,
Yeah.
again, I meditate mornings and at the night time. So when it's about, I'll probably wake up at about 5-ish. And I meditate up until about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Seriously, I really do. And at night when I go to bed, I'll meditate for a couple of hours, maybe even longer. Sometimes I'll probably do almost throughout the night.
Yeah.
And I do that occasionally throughout the week. And I feel how my brain function now is, man, it has slowed down. I can feel that it has.
But you have to. As soon as you get older, you've got to.
You've got to, because aging process.
So you owe yourself that, don't you?
You do.
You actually owe yourself that. You've
Yeah.
worked all your life.
Mm.
You know, you get your aches and pains as you get older, or
It's only
suffer with
natural,
whatever.
yeah.
And it's your time to settle down and do things at your own pace. You know, don't matter what you're going through, find that time for yourself.
Totally agree with that. So yes, please, this is what this video is about. It's finding yourself and being happy and in love with yourself. I'm not on about being outwardly in love with you. We're on about being in love from within.
Because if you don't love yourself, nobody else can love you, can they?
Nobody else can.
I
Like me
truly
and Max.
believe in that.
Me and Max, how we got together. We was on our own all together for 25 plus years, between the two of us, on our own, because we didn't want nobody. But we learned how to love ourselves.
We learned a lot, didn't we?
We certainly
when
did.
You think about it.
We certainly did.
Yeah. I mean, he was my best friend.
An even better friend.
That's all. That's all. We wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a friendship.
Just friends.
We weren't into. There was no talking about us being a couple together.
No.
It just happened. The law.
It was the last thing
life.
I wanted, and certainly the last thing you needed.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, what's meant for you will happen. I'm afraid.
It will happen when you are ready from within, and don't go looking for it. That's the worst thing we ever did in the past. We went out looking for it.
That's where people
Fail.
Fail.
And it's fact they do. They fail.
They fail.
When you purposely go looking for that.
Because, you know, you'll end up with anybody then, and that's not going to last. That's another failure.
That's very, very unhealthy,
Isn't
that
it?
is.
You know.
Yeah, so please,
failures.
please, people out there, learn to love you. Not be obsessed. Don't be obsessed. We're not saying for you to be obsessed with yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to know about yourself.
Know your faults as well.
Exactly.
That's part of loving yourself.
Know your strengths and your weaknesses.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely need to know that.
Yeah, you got to learn about yourself before you can start engaging with people, other people.
Yeah, because like we've just said, if you can't love yourself, nobody else can love you. It's impossible.
Because they will take you for a mug.
Impossible.
They will take you for a mug, and that's no joke. They will. They really will.
Plus, it can get out of control, can't it?
Oh,
when you
gosh.
when you're younger.
You certainly
I
can.
mean, you can start hating yourself because it takes one person to put that seed in your head.
Oh, I've been there before. About
And
hating
you start
myself.
hating yourself.
Yeah.
But when you're hating yourself,
You're just sending out negative
bad
energies. Negative energy, man.
And negative energies will keep coming back.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Time and time
It creates
again.
a vicious circle of it.
You know, even though you love your children, all you're thinking about is you're not good enough for
You're not good enough for life
You're
itself.
not good enough for anybody.
You're not good enough for life.
Yeah.
Pure and simple when you think like that.
Horrible to feel like that, but a lot of people do.
But most importantly, please, learn to love yourself from within. Not outwardly.
Yeah, inwardly.
When you see these people, oh, look at me, blah, this, I'm in the gym. When I used to go to the gym a lot, I never used to, I used to be an amateur bodybuilder, for those of you who don't know. And I competed in some competitions. So I had to look how my physique was developing, see how in shape I was good. So the judges would judge me on my conditioning. And then, you know, when I used to I used to see people who don't even do that, and ego lifting and stuff like, oh man. Trust me, gets you into more trouble than you know. I've seen people get badly injured because of that way. But anyway, the most important thing is what we're on about in this video. Is learn to love yourself.
You'll be glad you did.
Trust me.
In later life, you'll be glad you did.
You surely would be so glad and happy that you did.
I mean, your life will probably slow down, but that's what your life needs.
Yeah.
For you to be able to focus. Be able to focus on yourself, innit? Really?
That's right.
In a good way, I'm on about, not in a selfish way.
Not in a self-centred way. That's
No,
the worst
no,
approach in
no.
life.
No.
Because if you become that self-centred type person, you send out bad negative energies out there to people. You really do. But seriously now, people, learn to love yourself.
Yeah.
Learn to love yourself. Learn to know yourself.
Because if you don't, you can lose a lot of stuff through your life.
You could lose life itself.
And even stop yourself
Yeah.
from, if you're looking for a partner, meeting the right person. Because you're putting blocks out there all the time.
Yeah.
Ain't you?
Yes, you certainly are. But yes, please, learn to love yourself. Okay, so we're ending it there on this video. And please, comments, You know, subscribe, hit the notification bell for the channel so when we upload a video, which we do on a weekly basis, you'll get to watch the videos, whatever content we're putting out there. Because we're just not your run-of-the-mill channel. We're a channel that's, well, martial arts is one of my main things of this channel, but we're going to be doing a lot more other stuff. So yes, please share the channel. Tell the people about this channel because we're very different from everybody else.
And it's nice to talk about each other's experiences.
Yes, it is.
Isn't it, when you think about it? Because you know what they say, problem shared is
It's
a problem halved.
halved. True saying.
Yeah, and you find that you're not on your own when you start sharing. There's people like you, you know, who are going through the same sort of things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The same dilemmas we
Yeah.
have, we call them.
But at the time, you just think it's you're on your own, you know.
No, you're not.
Nobody's on their own if they don't want to be.
Yeah, true.
No one.
But anyway, thank you very much, everybody. Most importantly, please stay safe out there. Please stay safe out there. That's all we ask of you.
Yeah.
Just stay safe, but be aware. Be aware what's going on.
Be very
around.
aware.
Yeah. Be very aware. And let's keep this chi of life. Let's keep it always and forever flowing, everybody. Let's feel that chi. Let's feel that energy. Let's feel that chi.
Namaste to everyone.
Namaste to everyone out there in that world of Namaste.